Hello, this is Yahweasel, and this might be the finale star of Radical Dreamers. I say finale star because this is not the kind of game you play once. It goes different paths, different things are open depending on how many times you've gone through the game, so definitely we're going to play it more than once. Lynx, you murderer, I'll never forgive you for Luca. This ends here and now. And so, Kid leaps into the air in a fit of rage, aiming a kick between Lynx's eyes. However, just as she reaches him, he swiftly dodges. This music is very related to the, sort of caveman-y music from, Chrono Trigger. If not the same, Kid stands there, wondering how she could have missed. Beside her, Lynx laughs, taunting her. Jumping up once again, Kid lets loose a fierce kick. Skimming the tip of his nose, her kick cuts through nothing but air. In a parry attack, Lynx sends his razor-sharp golden saber through the air, which Strixus points out in chat would be a terrible material for a saber to be made out of. It bends against her very light tunic and does nothing, but Kid's already leapt back. The two face each other, only a few feet apart. If only you'd been a bit faster, Kid, Lynx says, smiling. All of a sudden, a line of red streaks across Kid's face. Kid? Wiping off the blood, Kid angrily rushes Lynx in a flash through the air. Effortlessly dodging, Lynx drives the sword into her back as soon as she lands. Kid bends back in alarming pain. Somehow staying on her feet, she stumbles back and readies herself to charge again. Stupid little brat! Lynx lands an elbow on Kid's shoulder, knocking her clear down to the ground. I feel her pain from Do you want to participate in this at all? No? In fairness, given the scene that it's showing us, I have no idea how any of this is happening. There's like a big pit. How are we fighting over that pit? There has to be a floor somewhere. As I start to see blood trickling from her lips. What's wrong, little girl? Once again, Kid tries to lash out at Lynx, but he easily kicks her, sending her back onto a pile of rubble. Lynx then looks upward, focusing his concentration on the ceiling. As I look up, I see a number of rocks have come dislodged from the cavern, tumbling down onto her. Kid! I call out as I start to rush over to her. However, if you'd only been participating in the first place, as soon as I start to, I see Magil's already there. He streaked across the shadows, putting himself between Lynx and Kid. Saying nothing, Lynx shoots a thread of white light out of his fingertips. The thread-like substance entangles Magil, binding his feet together. He hits the ground with a thud. In a dazzling radiance, a countless number of threads fly out from Lynx's fingertips. They immobilize Magil completely, leaving only his head visible. How does that feel, Shadow Walker? Have you ever felt my web start to drain? Have you felt my web start to drain your life energy yet? Lynx says, smiling ominously. Ugh. Kid, Magil, what am I gonna do? Help Kid. She's gonna die. Kid. Strixus in chat says, kinky, question mark? Well, Lynx and Magil are gonna have their own thing going on while I try and save Kid. She looks over towards me. With blood trickling from her mouth, she only moves a little. Kid, are you alright? She lies there motionless, wincing painfully. Serge. It's okay, Kid. I'm here for you. How kind. How kind. However, I think you should be more concerned with your own well-being, young man. An icy chill runs down my spine as I hear the evil voice behind me. I stand up and turn around. So you, whoever you are, opposing me is quite useless. Sorry, I just gave him that voice because his face goes, Nyeh! Opposing me is quite useless, as you obviously have seen. In a flash, Lynx grabs me by the neck. He strangles me with his long, disgusting fingers. Ugh. Then he starts to lift me up by my neck. Struggling for air, I painfully hang there, unable to tear myself free of his powerful grip. Look, Kid, look at your pathetic little companion suffering. You can make this all stop if you want. With blood dripping from her lips, Kid opens one of her eyes. Painfully gasping and coughing, she lifts her head up to us. She still wants to get up, but she's hurt far too badly. Serge! Hand over the Chrono Trigger, kid. Little do you know, but that rock is actually a tiny condensed universe. When combined with the frozen flame, it gains the power to bend space-time, allowing its owner to reshape history. This all could have never happened if you merely wish it. Saying this, Lynx looks towards me, expressionless. And what about you, young man? Perhaps you know where the Chrono Trigger is, he asks, tightening his grip. Serge! What are you going to do, kid? Can you afford to let this boy die without helping? How will it feel to have his blood on your hands? As Lynx grasps tighter and tighter, I find myself starting to lose it. Lynx's face becomes a blur. Suddenly, Kid's voice snaps me back to attention. I'm sorry, Serge. What should I do? Don't give it to him! Don't do it! My consciousness fading. This is gonna be one way to die, isn't it? Stop! The stone! Here. Lynx looks over to Kid. His eyes light up as his... How can I see any of this? I'm unconscious. His eyes light up as his hands loosen around my neck. Abandoning me, Lynx rushes over to her side. Here it is, Lynx. Kid reaches into her pocket. Lynx draws closer. Despite being drained of nearly all strength, Kid managed to whip her knife out, fiercely slashing at Lynx. Screaming viciously. That's the sound of a human screaming. Lynx falls back, cradling his mangled face. Blood starts to trickle from between his fingers. You! Lynx staggers to his feet, keeping his right hand on the wound. I will have such fun killing you all! With as much power as she can muster, Kid kicks at Lynx, sweeping him off his feet. I thought she was, like, trapped under rubble. Ha! Spitting blood, Kid coughs a little, but still, a smile managed to come through her agony. Kid. I run over towards her, still feeling the burning grip on my neck? Okay, as in, my neck still hurts. Lynx turns to Kid, staring at her with his cold, evil gaze. Child, you shall beg for death soon enough. Every flavor of pain shall be yours. Prepare to join Luca. Hearing this, Kid's eyes slowly open and catch sight of Lynx. A red-hot gaze burns in her eyes. Slowly, she rises to her feet. A shimmering light suddenly spurts out of the frozen flame. At the same time, a golden light bursts out of Kid's chest, being the Chrono Trigger. Swirling around her, the light rises up, spreading outwards in a glistening spiral. What is this? Lynx gasps. Yes, this music again! Kid's voice calls out from deep within the shower of light. You will not win, Lynx! She trembles, her eyes flowing with red tears. And then, a single voice can be heard. It's a deep, profound voice. The voice of undeniable honesty and truth. Long ago, in a far-off kingdom, lived a girl. Because of her power, the kingdom had come to an end, crumbling under its own weight. Many became engulfed in the temporal vortex that was created, never to be heard from again. But not the girl. She lived on, enduring a much sadder fate. Running from her past and fearing her future, she wanted nothing more than to be swallowed up in the surging waves of the vortex of time. I remember we did that. Hating what she'd done, refusing what she'd said or heard, to simply continue living was her curse. But the stone, it had other plans for her. Turning back the hands of her clock, scattering her memories, she was granted another chance. Since the precious stone was in her possession, she carried with her all its will and power. And so, she was born into this era, returning to reality as a mere infant. And with that, the fragments of the shattered Chrono Trigger fall to the ground softly. The cavern before us slowly starts to come apart, bending inwards and outwards like a tear in reality, until we are completely removed from its existence. A single girl's voice resounds in the darkness. Please, it's dark energy. Make it stop. Oh yeah, Popple in chat points out that the Chrono Trigger is the quote-unquote time egg in the first game. I forgot they called it the time egg, which is weird because they also named the game after it. Losing all sense of reality and presence, I become engulfed in this realm, drifting aimlessly through the ages. Oh good, it actually has some time travel in it, unlike a certain other Chrono game I know. The world flows, time dissolves, and people live and die. I can see it all within this mysterious ocean. A star ocean. No, wait, that's a different game series. The origin of time. Every one of life's tranquilities is here. I can see myself as a baby crying at my mother's side, where she gives a warm, proud grin. I can see myself as an old man, softly smiling, knowing that death will come soon. Infinite versions of myself extend like ghosts throughout this endless corridor of time. Everywhere I look, I see another life, another era. In this unfolded existence, I see countless lives and countless dreams. Resting in eternity. A kind voice calls out to me. A single song. Kid. Kid. Can you hear my voice? Kid? Answer me, kid. Please. Who's calling my name? Yet again, adding drama with my good voice selection. Serge? Where is this? Kid? You're here! That song... That beautiful song. It was Luca's favorite. Kid softly smiles, closing her eyes. I can see she can't help but shed a few tears for this long-lost reminiscence. This song is actually something I composed in my earlier years, back when I was a musician. Kid seems to be very fond of it. Apparently I was a musician once. You called out to me, Serge. You called my name. Thank you. You won't leave me, will you? I'm here for you, kid. It all makes so much sense now. I know who I am, Serge. I know what I'm here for. Let's go back now, okay? I'm ready. Ugh. Lynx has pinned Kid to the ground! And now you see your death. What do? Square off with Lynx. I run over to Lynx, hoping to catch him off guard and ram him. What do you want, child? With a side blow, he strikes me down to the ground. Kid! I frantically try to make my way over to Kid. Lynx raises his saber overhead, ready to plunge it into us. One or the other, whoever. I wouldn't do that if I was you. Might be Magil, who knows. Quickly turning my head, I look in the direction of the voice. You! It's going to be Riddell! Be Riddell! Riddell! There under large hood stands the old woman from before, okay. So, Vera, looks like Por couldn't keep their hands out of this after all, says Lynx flatly. Good to see you again, Master Lynx. Seems you've seen better days. The old lady, she's from Por? I'm giving it a Spanish pronunciation because it has 2 R's in it. The frozen flame. We will take custody of it now. It seems none of you can decide on who the rightful owner should be. The old lady gives a small signal, and dozens of armed troops rush out from behind her, securing the cavern. I will not forget this, Vera, Lynx shouts, floating up into the air. Brimming with hatred, Lynx's glance turns to us. And you will see death by my hand. Saying this, Lynx vanishes into the thin air. The soldiers untie Magil and... Okay! I thought it was magic that was holding him. Apparently it was just rope. And start heading towards us. The old woman gazes down on us from under the hood. I believe you ought to come with us. Looking up, I notice the armed soldiers have swarmed around us with their weapons ready. Seeing this, Magil instantly waves his hands in the air, calling out some sort of incantation. Darkness envelop under my command! And we all just vanish. Suddenly all light in the cavern is put out. It's now or never. Quickly, Serge. I grab onto Magil, who's holding Kid. Together we flee the cavern, vanishing into the darkness, not taking the frozen flame! Led by Magil, we make our way out of the mansion. Back in the forest, we see the search party's torches here and there, hunting for us. Their militant barking can be heard as they continue to get closer and closer to us. Why are they so angry at us? I mean, don't get me wrong, we were there to steal it, but they aren't... Like, they are also there to steal it. Can't we just... Truce, please? Like, truce? Truce, please? We stop behind a tree for a moment or two, catching our breath. I look down to Kid, who's taken quite a beating. Are you okay? Yeah, mate. Fine. We're completely surrounded, says Magil. We must be on our way. Looking around, I suddenly see torches all around us, starting to close in. Kid suddenly lifts her head up. Go, Serge. Save yourself. The troop is only after Magil and me. If they find you alone, they'll let you go. Truce is miles away from here, Yahweasel, says Popful. That's right, isn't there a place called Truce? What are you talking about? I can't leave you now, not like this. I told you I'll be fine, mate. But... Dramatic music. Don't worry, I remember now, Serge. Who I used to be, long ago, she says, staring up into the night sky. Seeing the reflection... I was an inventor, like my sister! Seeing the reflection of 100,000 stars in her eyes, I can't help but be taken in by that lonely, 1 in a million expression of hers. Kid, don't worry. I'm okay. I'll see you again, she says with a smile. Someday, I know I'll see you again. Without a doubt. She softly closed her eyes. Luca's Chrono Trigger was lost. We couldn't even get our hands on the frozen flame, but it's okay. It's all okay, because tonight in my heart, a shiny new treasure was born, Serge. The single most valuable, unstealable treasure in the entire world. Saying this, Kid stares at me firmly. Kid stares at... Let's just imagine the apostrophe S in there. Kid stares at me firmly with those eyes of hers. Those bold, straight, honest eyes. Knowing who I am, it's bigger than all this. Bigger than Lynx, bigger than the frozen flame, and nothing can take that away. Not as long as I'm alive. At this moment, listening to her under the starry night sky, I find myself wanting nothing more than to be here with her right now. Of course you do, you perv. Staring into her eyes, I only wish time could stop at this instant. Goodbye, Serge. Thank you. And with that, Kid turns her back to me and disappears into the darkness. Kid! Don't follow me, please. Don't follow me. Unable to control my feelings, I start to rush after her. However, a shadow abruptly blocks my path. It's Magil. He slowly shakes his head, a sorrowful look in his eyes. With that, his shadowy figure draws back, dissolving into the darkness. Magil? Kid? Is this the end of the story? Ooh, I like this scene. Kid. And so the curtain closes on another tale. However, another time, after the spotlight had faded from Kid, Magil, and Riddell, and some other guy who cares. In another place and another time, a similar band of adventurers had come forth, equally unsuspecting of their other selves, and life went on as they strode out into the great unknown. But that's a story for another day. For now, I shall put down my pen. As I softly close my grandfather's diary, I hear my mother's voice call to me from downstairs. "Didn't you hear me? Your friend is here!" I turn around, already knowing who it is. My door opens quite energetically, where I see a strangely... Serge, we found some ruins of an old mansion up in northern Kitsune Falls forest today. Come on, let's go exploring. It's gonna be like the grandchild of Kid, I'm the grandchild of Serge. Yep. So, that is a finale. I assume? Yes? Yeah, this feels finale-ish. This looks pretty finale-ish. Yes. So that is a finale, but one thing I certainly know about this game is you don't play it once. This game changes if you just let it finish and then do it again. So we're going to go ahead and let these credits roll to end off this episode, and next episode, probably with a lot of fast motion, we're going to do it again. The Challenger Gladiator in chat says that the reader's mother has the best voice so far. I should give that voice to Kid. How are you, Serge? The music composer was Y. Mitsuda. I'm not good at pronouncing Japanese names. So in terms of the actual phonetics of it, it's very, very simple, which is good. But there is a sort of emphasis system that emphasis is supposed to, like, you can pronounce it wrong because the emphasis is supposed to be somewhere else, and I can never guess that. Like, is it Izumi or Izumi or, yeah. Is it Fujioka or Fujioka or, yeah. And right, like, Mitsuda is Mitsuda, not Mitsuda. That one I know. The Kobayashi Maru! Let's just throw in a random Star Trek reference. Chiba. Chat is now talking about pronouncing Japanese names. Look, I speak some Chinese. There's a long, some Mandarin to be more specific. There's a long history of the Chinese and Japanese not really getting along so good. So I'm gonna call that my rationale here. I ain't no weeb. Translation by Demi-Force, who doesn't have a real name, but then look who's talking. Director M. Kato, I suppose. Kato, probably. Definitely not. Director Mr. Gato. Serge sure has an interesting dress sense. So do I... Oh, no, I don't click. Okay. You better say fiend. Don't give me any the end here. Or neither. Yeah, fiend, that's right. I somehow managed to miss it because it was in the corner. Fiend is the correct way to end that, thank you. Now it should be that if I click through, I'll be back at the main menu, but if I play again, it will definitely be... Oh! Oh! There's like an annotated list of endings! Oh! Is that so? Well, it looks like we've got our job set out for us for next time. Until then, thanks for watching. If you liked the video, tell me what you like best on this or any other video on my channel to help me make compilations. Cheers from Yahweasel.